So if you look at the sales figures, pickup trucks here in America continue to be the #1 selling segment of vehicle. And one particular area where we've seen a lot of increased growth are off-road oriented, performance-tuned factory trucks. Now, Ford technically started this segment with the original Raptor a few years ago. And because of that, we're seeing a lot of other brands come out with their own off-road oriented factory performance truck. And today, GMC has brought me out to just outside of San Diego, California to test out their latest version. This is the 2019 Sierra AT4, and what I want to know is this actually a off-road oriented factory truck, or is it more of an appearance package? That's what we're here to find out. So last summer I was actually out in Newfoundland where GMC had brought me and a bunch of other journalists out to test out the all-new Sierra already. And back then we actually more focused on the Denali trim and didn't really have as much of a thorough off-road course like we do for this particular event, where they literally only have us driving the AT4 versions. Now the AT4 is an all-new trim for this all-new 4th generation Sierra, and to basically give it a much more aggressive look and to back up the looks of this thing with an off-road capability, GMC has given a lot of features with the AT4 to kind of bring it in line with the Ford Raptor, as GMC sees this truck as the main competitor to that vehicle. Now, with this new redesign, you can see LED bi-xenon headlights are standard across the board. This particular one has the upgraded LEDs. It's an LED turn signal, full LED headlight, and then LED fog lights. You can distinguish the AT4 from the fact that GMC kind of deletes the chrome. You have the body colored accents in the grille, you have the black accents in the inner part of the grille and the lower fascia, you have the red tow hooks, and then with this new generation, the grille is just massive. It literally has a much taller hood, which does make it a little bit more difficult to see out of, but it kind of gives the truck a much more masculine, almost more heavy-duty look. There is an all-new heavy-duty version of this truck coming in the next couple of months or so, but to give this truck some actual off-road credentials, it's not just, you know, an appearance package in terms of the looks. It's got 33-inch tall Goodyear Wrangler all-terrain tires. These are like a $295 option. It also has a 2-inch lift kit. Now GMC says with this particular package, you're looking at around 10.8 inches of ground clearance, which is literally just shy of the F-150 Raptor's ground clearance, of which is around 11 inches. So it's got definitely the stance. You guys can also add in a dealer-installed assist bar to kind of help you step in. This one doesn't have that feature, but you probably may want to get that if you guys are a little bit on the shorter side like myself. Now, the new Sierra comes in basically a double cab and a crew cab configuration. This one here is probably the one that most of you are going to buy. It's the crew cab configuration with the short bed. This is the 5'8" bed. You can also get a longer bed that's like around 6.5 inches. But most of you are probably going to be happy with this configuration. If you guys are looking for an 8-foot bed, you have to step down to the double box configuration. Now, the rear of the truck, you can see, has full LED taillights. Again, this is part of the new generation. There's a nice little AT4 badge at the lower corner. And then the rear of the truck, what GMC is really highlighting for this new generation is their new multi-pro tailgate system, which is, again, a 2-piece tailgate that no one in the industry has literally done yet. And what it basically allows you to do is if you push these 2 buttons over here, the tailgate shows 2 different, areas where you can basically fold this down and create a little step to help you get in. You can also fold it up to create a little bed extender. I've shown you guys a video of that before, so if you guys are interested in seeing that, be sure to watch my first review of the GMC Sierra Denali, where I'll show you guys the actual multi-pull tailgate. This particular one here, you can see, makes it really easy to get in and out of the bed. And then this one already has the bed liner built in. If you guys want to be using this for actually truck hauling duties, I highly recommend getting that particular feature. But overall, the design of the truck, I think, looks particularly nice. I think the rear looks really good. This one also has a performance-tuned exhaust. That's also a dealer-installed option. I'll let you guys hear that V8 real quick. And unlike the Ford Raptor, there is a 6.2 liter V8, which sounds incredible. Let's look under the hood and see what kind of numbers it's putting out. So unlike the Ford competitor, this comes with only V8 engines. If you guys want the AT4, it either comes with GM's 5.3 liter small block V8 or this optional 6.2 liter V8, which is basically a $2,500 option if you want this. It makes 420 horsepower and 460 foot-pounds of torque. Now that's actually less power than what you get in the Raptor with its 450 horsepower and 510 pound-feet of torque, but it's got that V8 sound that the Raptor just can't duplicate, to be honest. So the transmission also, it's a 10-speed automatic transmission, which is actually the same transmission that Ford puts in the Raptor, but it's just tuned differently. But you can't really beat the sound of that V8. Now, fuel economy is actually pretty similar to the Ford. It's rated at 15 in the city, 19 on the highway. The Raptor gets 15-18. This is recommended to use premium gas. If you guys are looking to tow or haul things, the Sierra will tow a maximum of 12,200 pounds, and then it will carry a maximum of around 2,120 pounds in the bed. This one, as it sits, weighs pretty heavy. It's around 5,400 pounds, which is actually a little bit lighter than the Raptor, I want to say. But overall, the performance is nice. I'm going to take it out onto some trails. We're going to show you guys how this thing actually behaves out there. So the last time I drove the Sierra, Denali, and AT4, we were in Newfoundland, and it was a really cool trip, but we didn't really do too much off-roading. So GMC has decided to fly myself and a bunch of other journalists to just outside of San Diego. We're actually on this mountain truck trail called the Otay Mountain Truck Trail. It's literally about 2 hours southeast of San Diego, and we're somewhat close to the border over in Mexico. Seen a couple of Border Patrol driving by, seen one Navy helicopter fly by and take some video of us driving through these trails. No border wall yet though, but I'm sure that's gonna come up soon. As you can see, my camera guy is driving. This is Rob, the guy that's been behind the camera for months now. He's driving because I'm gonna drive an off-road trail at the lunch spot later, and I'm also not really great with heights. We're at about 3,500 feet right now, and literally there's a cliff over the ledge and no actual guardrail or anything like that. So I'm just choosing to stay riding shotgun instead. But up ahead of us is San Diego. Beautiful. Yeah, don't go straight, please. Behind us was Mexico. And as you can see, it is absolutely gorgeous. There are about 15 other Sierras that we are in a caravan with. As I said earlier, the Sierra AT4 is their new off-road oriented trim. It's kind of similar to the Silverado Trail Boss. You have a 2-inch lift. You have those 33-inch tall Goodyear all-terrain tires. You have the Rancho shocks. And honestly, the trail has been great, but it's been kind of light. I mean, sure, we've got this dirt road, we've got some rocks, we've got some dips, but it has been fairly easy so far. Like, this is something that a Honda CR-V could probably do, most likely with the right tires. But other than that, we are looking forward to taking this thing onto some rougher parts of the trails. GMC said that there'll be a nice trail that they've set up that'll be a little bit more challenging later on. But overall, the truck literally glides over these road imperfections like you'd expect it to. It's literally not breaking a sweat. We are just kind of leaving it in 4 high for the time being and going relatively slow because this road is very narrow. It's been a really cool trail, beautiful scenery. If you guys have ever been to or haven't been to the Otay Mountain Truck Trail, I highly recommend taking your off-road vehicle here just to check out the scenery. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, so you're in 4 low. We're gonna head towards the base of the rock here, and we're gonna hug the right side.
Okay.
You've seen how they've been doing this?
Yeah, they just stay to the right of the cones?
Stay to the right of the cones. Just take it nice and easy because it's definitely loose rock there.
Okay.
Get a little bit of slip, but stay with it.
So yeah, this hill is a lot steeper than it looks on camera, but it's not something I would probably want to walk up. It's kind of terrifying, honestly. You're literally like on a roller coaster ride. But the truck makes it look so easy. It kind of just crawls right up with constant, steady pressure. I'm in 4 low right now. Wow.
This brush will show up here to the right.
Okay.
We're just going to go in between those.
Oh, I see right there, okay.
We'll follow through the S.
Okay.
Demonstrating ground clearance coming through here as we press this feature.
Okay. Now, how much ground clearance does this have, the AT4?
10.8.
10.8, okay, so almost 11 inches, so it's 2 more than the regular ones, okay. Yeah, you really notice the extra ground clearance in this kind of test, whereas before on that earlier trail, it wasn't really, I mean, it was tough, but it wasn't like really a huge test. The truck kind of made it look super easy. So go that way, okay.
Yeah, we'll take it right. Yeah, there were certainly some washed out areas, right? A little bit of rut on the edge of a mountain, but yeah, it doesn't really test the vehicle very hard. We're gonna go to the left towards that house there.
Okay.
We're just gonna loop around.
Yeah, the only thing you have to get used to is like just trying to see over that hood when you're in these kind of conditions. A little tough to see over, but once you get used to that.
And you can use your front camera as well.
Okay, yeah.
With that. So here, showing approach angle.
Okay.
So AT4 does have a unique bumper to improve approach angle.
Okay, so just drive straight over.
So just go straight up, and we're just going to stay away from that rock. That big one. On the left.
And that's where the camera really comes into play here, because I can't see over the hood, but that 360 camera is showing the front of this thing, which is nice. Okay.
So we'll start this a little wide. And then we're gonna approach this way. Go hard right now. Doug is gonna help guide you, so we can just follow him. So straight.
Straight that way, okay.
Yep. Oh, to the right a little bit. All right, straight. Doing good. Nice and easy. Right a little. Perfect.
Yeah, those cameras are really helpful out here.
You can also show tires if you're,
Oh, wow,
if you're in a
nice.
tight area, right?
Mhm.
This can help save tires.
Yeah.
You can pick front or rear. All right, so we're gonna head in back through these brush.
So am I going to go to the right of the cones?
We're
or-
gonna stay on the left of the cones.
Left of the cones, okay.
Once we get through the brush here, I'll
Okay.
help guide you a little. So keep heading straight. A little bit to the right. Gonna straighten up a little bit. Keep going straight. Alright, just a little bit to the right now.
All right, so now for the scariest part of this is going
So
down this steep hill.
This is steep, for sure.
And I don't know if you guys can see this on the camera, but it's pretty damn steep. But this is the car's...
So you can see we're 14 degrees pitch on the
Okay.
display.
Yeah.
15, 10 roll.
So keep rolling, going to the right here?
So yeah, we're gonna stay in between those two
Okay.
bushes and just nice and easy. Keeping grip.
Yeah, I mean, these
Let the
tires,
do their
yeah,
thing.
they really are grippy. I'm just barely having to just touch the brake. Well, yeah, this is a scary hill.
And then this last little dip here. Yep, there you go.
Okay.
We'll take that nice and easy on the back tire. Feel that.
Oh yeah. I mean, this looks scarier from the outside. It really just feels perfectly calm in here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, doesn't break a sweat. Departure angle coming off there was good.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't even scrape at all on anything. That's really impressive. Well, I have to say, it was a lot easier doing it than actually watching it. It was kind of scary watching it, but it was a piece of cake.
Yeah, good.
Awesome, thank you so much, Aaron.
Yeah, absolutely.
So as good as the twin-turbo EcoBoost engine is in the Raptor, it just doesn't sound like this when you put your foot down. You know, this truck will also redline, or go past the red line. It'll shift at around 6,000 RPM, and the performance exhaust just sounds really good. So if you are going to be driving this thing out on the road, which, let's be honest, most of you will be driving this thing out on the road, the V8, if you guys are more of a purist, you're going to like the V8 noise, the 10-speed transmission, super smooth. It shifts actually a lot better than the last Raptor I drove, which is about 1.5 years ago. The powertrain in this vehicle is just kind of nearly flawless to me. I mean, I wish it wasn't. I wish it was quicker than the Raptor. I will say the Raptor feels faster, but you just can't beat the sound. And my hunch is this thing will probably get better real-world gas mileage because it's got the cylinder deactivation. It's a V8. Those EcoBoost engines, what I find is in the real world is they typically don't do that much better than a naturally aspirated V8 would. And it's the reason why a lot of purists still choose a V8. It's why Ford still offers a V8 engine in the Raptor in general. Or not in the Raptor, in the F-150.
I was about to say Ford offers.
In the F-150. Scratch that, it's actually only in the F-150, not the Raptor. So when you get the AT4 out on the road, this thing still behaves like a normal pickup truck. Now, the one thing you are going to notice right off the bat immediately, those sticky all-terrain tires do produce a fair amount of road noise. You're going to hear kind of that drumming, that rumbling noise, which is normal. I will say that GMC has done a pretty good job with kind of drowning out some of that noise. They've added some sound deadening material to this new generation, and you do only hear it if you're truly listening for it with the stereo off. It's there, but those of you who are used to driving an off-road vehicle, you probably won't notice it all that much. But it is not quite as quiet as the last Denali that I tested last summer. Ooh. Now, in terms of on-road performance, the 0 to 60 times, there are really no test data yet for the AT4 version, but because of the the lifted suspension, the additional weight, the off-road tires, I would assume this thing would probably slow down the 0 to 60 compared to like a Denali by a couple of tenths of a second. From the driver's seat here, the engine itself has plenty of power. This thing will seriously get up to speed so quickly, and the transmission is just flawless. It shifts really quickly. It's nice and smooth. It just, responds really quick whenever my right foot decides to go down to the floor. So I have really no complaints with the on-road performance with the AT4. It sounds good. It handles relatively well for how big it is, and for the tires having, a little bit less grip out on the road versus out in off-road conditions. And if you're going to plan to daily drive this thing, you're going to really have no complaints when it comes to that. So at the beginning of this video, I asked a pretty simple question. Is the all-new Sierra AT4 just an appearance package, or is it seriously the real deal with it being a factory-oriented or factory-tuned off-road truck? Now, after spending the day driving this thing out on the scary trails of the Otay mountain truck trails and then trying out GMC's pretty treacherous off-road course, I'm happy to report that this all-new Sierra AT4 is definitely the real deal. Not only does it have a really clever multi-pro tailgate, it's got a really nice look with the off-road tires, with the lifted suspension, with the unique front and rear departure angles, with the rancho shocks. It's got all of the necessary features to back up the fact that this is a vehicle designed to go head-to-head with something like the Ford Raptor, something like the Ram Revel. But what GMC offers in this truck is the biggest engine, a 6.2 liter V8 that just sounds incredible. It's paired with a 10-speed transmission. It's quick. It may not be as quick as the Raptor. I honestly can't tell. Now, some of you may be wondering, is this vehicle better than a Ford Raptor? Unfortunately, I can't say for sure until I actually drive the two trucks back to back. But really the only area where the Sierra AT4 kind of falls a little bit short probably has to do with the interior. The interior is kind of a missed opportunity for GMC because I think that they should have probably given us a much more differentiated cabin from the Silverado. It's got some new tech features in it, like the rear view camera mirror, the head-up display. But in terms of the small infotainment screen, the lack of adaptive cruise control, the lack of a power tilt telescoping wheel, there's a couple of features that I would like GMC to kind of throw into this truck to kind of make the vehicle's interior a much more wow factor. And that's kind of an issue that GMC has in general. Now, if you guys are looking to purchase one of these trucks, it starts at a pretty reasonable $30,000 for the base work truck model. Now, if you guys are looking for a crew cab version, these are gonna start at around $36,000. The AT4 starts at around $53,200, which is surprisingly a couple $1,000s more expensive than something like the Ford SVT Raptor. And this particular one that I'm driving, from the premium package to the technology package to the upgraded engine, the performance exhaust, it stickers for $66,000, which definitely ain't cheap. But pickup trucks in general, they're definitely not getting cheap. And GMC is very proud of the fact that their GMC brand, their Denali brand, has an average transaction price that is actually higher than that of Audi, of BMW, and even Mercedes by a couple $1,000s when you look at the actual retail sales. But I hope you guys have enjoyed my full overview on this 2019 GMC Sierra AT4. If you're also looking to see the latest cars I'm testing, make sure you follow me on Instagram at redline_reviews, like us on Facebook, and as always, guys, please keep subscribing to the Redline Reviews YouTube channel for all the latest reviews. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you all in the next video. Yes, okay.
All right, I am ready.
Yes, I'm ready.
I'm ready too.
Sorry.
My finger.
Sorry. So here in America, pickup trucks continue to remain the most popular popular vehicle, best-selling. Factory-tuned off-road performance trucks. Now, sorry. So here in America, pickup trucks continue to remain, So here in America, pickup trucks continue to be the #1 seller here in the States. I keep repeating myself, sorry. Continue to be the best-selling segment. So here in America, pickup trucks continue to be the top-selling vehicles. So earlier in the video, I asked, is the AT4 just an appearance package, or if it's seriously the real factory off-road truck deal? Trails known as the Otay mountain truck trails, and then trying it out on this pretty extensive and very, what's the word I'm looking?
Challenging?
Challenging, yes. It wasn't really challenging and treacherous looking. I'm happy to report that this is seriously a mean truck that not only looks really good, has a really clever tailgate. I choked myself. Can I just start over that?
Yeah, I would start over because you struggled hard.
I choked on my spit. That was embarrassing.